it's kind out for me or not, but I think it might be kind out for me. I think it's kind out for me. I don't know.
Hello, my dear whisperers, and welcome to another episode of the Whispering Dog podcast. My name is Kasumi Rylith, and we are now season 2, episode 4. And with me tonight, we got the wonderful and amazing Mel Celestine.
Hello.
We got the wonderful Tenchi Hugo.
Hey everybody! Nice to hear from you again.
And we've got the amazing Paul Meadow.
Well, hello there.
And the amazing guitar that you've been hearing so far, the amazing guitar work, I'm sorry, I got distracted a little bit there. But the amazing guitar work that you've been hearing today has been supplied by Kaijin Ryu.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. How about yourself?
Oh, not too bad. Feeling dapper as always.
That's good to hear. How's everybody else been doing?
So.
Pretty good on the gaming front.
So, who's been playing Final Fantasy XIV?
I have been unable lately. My computer kind of crapped out recently, and for some reason, every time I load up 14, it's been chugging really bad. Hence why I've also not been able to produce any Chocobo Dash. That being said, I've tried to keep up with the news a little bit, but until I can get the PlayStation 4 copy, which I just got my PlayStation 4 over the holidays, then I'll be able to start playing content and recording again.
Very nice.
I have not been playing. I'm sorry. I've been working a lot, which I think everybody knows by now. But I have tried out Blade and Steel. Or Blade and Soul, I'm sorry.
Looks good.
Let's put it this way. If what now tells us that there's 2 games now that does a summoner class better than Final Fantasy XIV.
In the game series that created the idea of summoners in a JRPG style format is now the game with the worst summoner JRPG class.
Yeah.
And I believe it's not even another Japanese company doing it better, which is kind of more embarrassing.
Well, one isn't it? PSO2 is a Japanese company, isn't it?
Yes, that is Sega. PSO2 literally today just released episode 4 with the summoner class, and the summoner class plays amazingly like an actual summoner, as in you control the pet, you get the pet to do all the attacks, and you have to spend the rest of the time dodging out of the way of the attacks because you are a piece of paper.
I haven't played the Summoner class and Bladed Soul yet, but that looks like it was pretty much like that on there too. So
I can add to this conversation because I've played it.
Oh, okay.
The summoner class in the good old Blade of the Soul is actually quite unique because yes, you do the spells as well, but they don't do that much damage. It's all your pets. Your pet is the real damage focus, and it's cute as fuck. It's a fucking cat. It is adorable.
But aside from that speaking, we got a good night for all of y'all, and we got some goodies we want to see what you think about. You're our guinea pigs, and we love you. We feed you. We groom you.
But,
Run on.
but before we start that, we do have a few housekeeping stuff to dish out here. We are live every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv Whispering Dawn. And yes, I got a microphone this time. And the audio sounds much better. So please come join us. You can also contact us at whispering_dawn, or you can email us at thewhisperingdawn@gmail.com. And we also got a Facebook page, facebook.com Whispering Dawn. And if you want to support the show, there's three main ways you can do with this. Tell your friends, tell a coworker, tell one of your free company people. Don't care, just tell somebody to listen to us because we are awesome, and 3/4 of us is sexy. So, and well, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Whoever's going to talk there.
I was just laughing.
Oh, okay.
I know they think I'm ugly. I'm the other one.
May I do the disclaimer when we get to it this week?
Oh, I forgot to do that. I forgot to add that on here. I'm sorry. We're trying something else today, so we don't have all our bells and whistles yet. So,
But we got
don't excuse us.
we got something big fixed.
Yes.
Katsumi's audio.
So, having this said, to say all that, you can also go to iTunes, go to anywhere else, and subscribe to iTunes. Leave us feedback. That's a good way to bring us up in the rankings there. I don't know what rankings, but you can make us seen a lot more than what we are. And the third way is by going to our nifty little t-shirt page on Redbubble, whisperingdawn.redbubble.com, and buy our shirts. We still got the awesome All of Lives Matter shirts, which is, well, actually the sales have kind of died out a little bit, so.
LFL's lives matter because without them, what would be punt?
And what
Hey,
would we
Lullabies.
do when Makotis are hungry?
I guess. But gosh darn it, Popotos. Well, Popotos are lives matter, gosh darn it.
We love you, Lalas, but as Makoti, I'm going to eat you or punch you.
I didn't know cats like potatoes.
We love potatoes.
That's for our Highlanders. What is me? Highlanders for the win. Highlanders are the best, and they will eat every one of you and take your baby daddies.
No, don't do that.
Hide your wife, hide your kids. Hide the husband.
So the reason we have Kajun Ru here on is because he does something awesome for the community. He does a cover of was it A Realm Reborn? The theme for that?
Yeah, Answers. Yeah, that's the name of the song. I haven't gotten around to learning Dragon Song yet, but I will one of these days.
I like the first song. Answer is one of my favourites. It gives me goosebumps every time and makes me want to kill people.
Okay, so
Ninja.
before we even start doing anything else, how about you play some answers for us?
Yeah, sure. Let me see here. Can you hear that okay?
Yep. Okay. I'm just sorry. I'm gonna stop you here for a second here. Um, for some reason you're cutting in and out, so I don't know what's going on in your end, but
Oh,
Is there any
okay.
way you can set your microphone to push to talk or something, or auto on? Just so that way it stays on and captures the whole thing. Because every time you seem to hit that brief pause between notes, it turns itself off.
Let's see, is there a noise gate on this thing? Sorry, it's about haven't really used Discord before much.
that's okay.
Set it
We're
to voice activity and then turn the slider all the way to the left, and it will pick up whatever the hell's going on.
Oh, no, it's-
There we go.
Bravo, bravo!
Well,
Encore,
thank
encore!
Hey, congratulations! Good job.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed.
Sometimes I find that version better than the orchestrated, just because I can focus on a sound versus a bunch of different sounds. ADD brain for the world.
It's definitely more raw.
It is very raw.
I have to ask, how long did it take you to learn that?
I learned it by ear. It took me a few days. Kind of figure it out, pick out what parts and stuff like that. No,
Did
I've
you?
been trying to learn Dragon Song. It's just that one's a little more difficult.
um. So did you learned it all by ear then, or?
Yeah, I learned that one all by ear. Because I tried looking up music for it, and there was just no music for it to be found, so I had to learn it by myself.
Bup kiss for guitar notes.
Okay. I know when 1010 was actually telling us about this and everything. Um, she mentioned you had a Bandcamp site or something like that. Do you want to plug that real
Yeah,
quick?
um, yeah. I mean, you can check out. I have my solo project going on right now, and you can check that out at a lonetone.com/kaijin. And also, if you want to check out my old bands, some of the work I've done in the past, you can go to dreamsleadwest.bandcamp.com, and you can find my first band, Dolly Hit Dolly, on Spotify.
Cool, cool.
Yeah. I had some fun. I used to tour and all that good stuff. Good times, good times.
Wait, you said you used to tour?
Yeah, I used to tour. Had a lot of
That's
fun
cool.
being in a band.
He's giving Final Fantasy some love now.
Yep.
Oh, I love me
So,
some
are you
Final
going to tour
Fantasy.
around Eorzea then and play concerts like the Wandering Minstrel, except with more actual music and less creating additional boss fights?
Yeah. I would love
Or
to.
creating additional
Yeah, it's gonna have to
macros.
work for now.
Yeah. You get to fight Thornton all over again, just for fun.
I hate Thornton. He's a dick.
Me too. He's a bastard. But yeah, I mean, that's the only Final Fantasy 14 song. I have a deep love for Final Fantasy. I've played it since I was little kid. I think the first one I played was 6, and I have a huge passion for music. I've been playing guitar since I was 10, and I'm 26 now, and I've learned quite a few Final Fantasy songs along the way from different titles.
All right, I have one that I have to ask if you know how to play. It's a personal favorite of mine. Chances are the answer is probably no, but I have to ask. Rydia's theme.
I don't, but that's one that I've been wanting to learn how to play. Um, my what I know is not much so far, but I know it well. I know how to play Rose of May from Final Fantasy IX. That's Beatrix's theme. I know how to
Beautiful.
play Yuffie's theme, Descendant of the Shinobi, and that's from Final Fantasy VII. And I never finished learning how to play it, but I can play a bit of Sateki Dani from Final Fantasy X.
Kiki Dane.
Yeah. And
Okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I do have to ask because it is a staple in every Final Fantasy game. Actually, two of them. Um, the Victory Anthem and the Prelude song.
I don't know either of those, but I do know the Chocobo song.
Yes.
Go ahead and play it.
I'm thinking about the freaking fat chocobo now.
The Chocobo song's pretty simplistic. It's nothing special, but it's like a let me take this cable.
Aww.
I'm getting giggles. I see a fat chocobo in my brain.
That's a different song. That's womp 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 womp.
I
I was gonna
associate
say.
anything chocobo related to that fat bastard. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say if anybody would know a Chocobo song, it would be now.
I am the chocobo enthusiast.
I love Chocobo Rodeo from Final Fantasy 13 Part 2. It's
Please tell
probably
me
my
that's not
favorite.
the heavy metal one, right?
That's the heavy metal one.
Oh
I
God!
love it. Just absolutely love it.
Please continue to ride this chocobo.
Guess I'm up with the greens and let him go.
No!
I believe Mel just died inside.
You broke
Yes.
my
Oh,
soul. You broke my soul.
Okay, we do have to get a podcast to get back to here. I know everybody loves the music, but maybe we'll have them play something on the outro here. There's no news. I'm sorry. The only news we have is on the 30th is a live letter. So next podcast we'll have some news for you. So what we got instead is we're going to talk about two different things here. We're going to talk about tanks and we're going to talk about bards. Right?
The context of tanks and bard is gonna be different, and in all, tanks is just gonna be based on what's going on with their gear, which we know a lot of tanks are complaining or just not getting it. And bards, we got a new segment for you. We're starting with bards. That's why it's bard related.
Okay. But no, you're our resident tanker there.
Hmm? Well, provided when I can play, but yeah.
Well, yeah. Before your computer decided to crap out on you, what would you say the biggest downfall of tanking classes right now?
The horrible divide there between the vitality tanks and strength tanks. Strength tanks because you need to have that extra damage to get through end game raids, and vitality tanks because you want to have more hit points to allow your healers to have more chance to do DPS as well. So it's a terrible, terrible trade-off because either the healer has to DPS less to make up for the fact that they're going to be healing you more, or you're going to be doing less because you have more hit points, but the healer has more time to DPS.
Which brings the question for many, and probably a possible few answers. Why is there not a major damage nerf coming in terms of tanks?
Actually, there's one way I could see that Square could get out of this without needing to do anything overly major to change the overall structure of stuff. One way only. Change one damage calculation. Make it so warriors, paladins, and dark knights all deal damage based off of vitality instead of strength.
That actually makes more sense than most of the other ideas people have been coming up with.
Actually, it's something that Lord of the Rings Online actually started doing right before I left. Is they actually started having the stats keyed to a particular class, so that way, if you increase that stat, it would increase more things than just the regular stat there.
It's just with the way the tanks are built and the way the dungeons are built, everything would require so much more of an overhaul if they made it so tanks did less damage overall, or if they had to boost up the DPS to make up for that damage difference, or if they changed how the overall fights worked for everything. Because remember that if they're changing it, they're not changing it just for end game raids. They would have to change it for everything else. So
Or it just feels out of place for people who get into raiding.
Exactly. So the only method I could see them doing that would not require essentially another whole 6 to 8 months of development would literally be just to find a way to get vitality to be your damage calculation stat for those three classes.
Well, the other thing that I know we mentioned on the show before, it's because they, the whole interview in that magazine with Yoshi P, he basically said that when they calculate the damage for a dungeon, they don't take consideration of tank and healer DPS. Is
I'm
that
pretty
part of the
sure
problem?
that's not entirely true. I think that before they didn't take it into account, like before Heaven's Word, but now they definitely are, because as you can see, especially with when it came to Alexander Savage, that the tank and healer DPS was borderline insane calculations needed on top of the regular DPS damage to clear stuff.
So the issue pretty much remains that the tanks were designed to put some damage out there, just on the basis that deliverance, the skill of deliverance exists.
Well, the thing with tanks is they have to provide damage because you need to be able to keep hates. And the only
And
way
you
you
have
can
to
do that,
piss off a monster. The best way to piss anybody off is to punch him,
yes.
or in this case, poke him with a pointy stick.
You have a good point.
Your
Okay,
mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries. It's not going to hold their attention for very long.
yeah.
God, I love
Anybody
Mario
else got
Kart.
anything? Anybody else got anything to contribute to this at all? Paul, you've been awfully quiet.
Well. Well. As playing a paladin, you don't do that much damage, but you can outdamage a Dark Knight pretty easily. But if they change it to Vit, that means paladins will do more. But I'm not so sure what they're gonna do about warriors with the deliverance, because that turns like. Isn't that a bit like cleric stance? Turn deliverance on it goes. Your points all go into strength.
In that case, I think maybe they would change how that works. Instead of strength or vitality with those, maybe they'll switch it to attack and defense.
Which leaves another thing. Maybe if no one's really realized this, or SC didn't even realize this, that when they designed tanks, they decided the stances, but it seems like the stances are kind of like Celtic stance or even Wander's Parryan for Bard now. You have to turn it on to switch either your stats around or up your damage. Which means tanks are in a sense supposed to be stance dancing.
Dark Knight's do it easily enough.
So the warriors, so the paladin.
Paladin doesn't stance. Paladin just goes shield oath. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me.
But they also have sword oath. I don't think
Which they never use.
unless they're off tanking. And
No, they shouldn't be using it on off tank either. It adds nothing, absolutely nothing to your DPS. Okay, maybe not absolutely.
Actually, yes, it
but
does.
Nothing worthwhile. It adds a slight damage buff to your auto attack only.
No, I definitely see the difference between it. Because my damage went up as soon as I went into Sword Oath.
That's because you're not having a 20% damage reduction from having your defense up. But the only benefit you get from that sword, Sword Oath, is a slight damage increase to your auto attack. That's it.
Okay. The reason we talked about this because it was an awesome thread on Reddit about tank problems. And the one thing I want to discuss like real quick is the problem they have with the meta. And if somebody wants to read that, that'd be awesome. If not, I can read it.
Other thing is for
the Duty Finder is definitely one.
I'm sorry. Who was? You were to say something, Paul?
Oh, I was reading it out.
Oh, good. Go ahead.
We're on the other thing for tanks, tank DPS meta, right? We're on that one.
The problem SE may have with the meta.
Is that on another page?
Yeah, it's on page 2.
Yeah. It's just one bullet point. The problem SE may have with the meta. Before again discussing the options that are available for answering those questions, I want to bring up one other thing which will play into that discussion. There's one thing to really note about the current tanking meta that SE may be considering addressing: the usage of tank stances. While this is something that the devs have actually talked about, it's undeniable that the way the player base currently threats tank stance is not the way we were meant to treat them. Full stop. Do you want me to keep going on? That's the full stop.
Yeah, go ahead.
The fact that they add the bonus accuracy effects to all tank stances implies that these stances are intended to use whenever attacking an enemy from the front, which would mean whenever you're tanking. Yet the current meta has tanks spending as much time as they possibly can outside of these tank stances to push damage even during progression. Some people even go so far as to use tank stance more like defensive cooldowns. So even though SE hasn't said anything about this, I find it hard to believe that they haven't at least noticed it. Now, as DPS checks are going to be lowered in Alex Minas, try and say that word, this this could end up just renovating itself due to no longer being a necessity. But there's the other ways this could be addressed, which plays into the other issue that has been brought up. Do you want me to keep going? Fucking there's so much of this.
Which the other issue is gonna end up being that there's too much, to put it loosely, wonkiness or lack of up to par for what you're doing gear.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to accessories.
Yeah, that's pissing me off. Because it's like, oh, they're just not useful. It's just like, oh yeah, bit accessories. But by the way, we want you to have strength accessories. It's like, oh, okay.
So what I'm using is a paperweight on my fingers.
Pretty much.
What does everybody think about the way that people are using tank stances? Is the way that was described in this the correct way everybody's using them, or
For the most part, yeah.
I just keep them on.
Unless I'm tanking, as Dark Knight, then I immediately drop grit just so I can just focus on doing as much damage as possible. It's grit. The only time I'm ever have grit on is when I am having to take control of the situation.
See, what annoys me about this game is that they're now pushing the tanks to damage. You shouldn't do that. The DPS is your main bloody damage. It should be the only damage. Healers are supposed to heal, and tanks are supposed to tank.
You know, as an astrologian, I kind of feel you on that one, because healers are not supposed to be DPSing either.
And it's like they made astrologians to pretty much be a DPS / healer type bit, from what I've seen on the skill list.
Well, no, they do that with everybody, because if you gotta think, the one skill that transfers to all of healing classes is Cleric Stance. And that's supposed to be primarily used outside of dungeons when we're soloing, so we can actually do some damage.
Yeah, so you can do your quests.
That's what I'm getting. But they make it easier to use your damage doing skills on astrologian in a run versus solo than other classes. It's harder for me to DPS on my white mage and still heal enough, is what I mean. Astrologian, I can do it and not have to think. Get me?
I understand what you're saying, but I've actually found it easier to damage on my scholar than I do on my astrologian when I'm healing in a dungeon.
Three-quarters of your healing.
Yeah.
That's true. But no, if astrologian, it depends on what you're trying to do. Most of the time, it's going to be because I do have trouble healing and doing damage majority of the time anyway. But when you got skills like I'm
That
trying to think,
combust one, which I think is instacast.
combust, which I'm not talking about like the damage dealing stuff itself. I'm talking about the others, like the stances. Um, binaural stance is actually good for, and that's what everybody uses because it is great for damaging. It gives a boost on your skills. Lightspeed does the same thing. It's supposed to help you with your. I mean, especially
Cast
when
time
you're
plus DPS, right?
right. They, but like I said, this is all supposed to be geared towards outside the dungeons because a lot of healing classes have trouble when it comes to solo leveling. Group leveling you can do fine just healing, but when you're soloing, like if you go to a lot of the quests, especially for Heaven's Ward and stuff like that, how many of them are kill X mobs?
A lot of them. I used to
Right.
get an F-Steam leader to at least tank them so I could take them out myself.
So that's why a healer would have damage type spells on them, is because we need to be able to do the quest solo as well. The only problem is people look at those skills and see, okay, a healer has damage skills. They have stuff to bring up damage on themselves or whatever. They can DPS while they're healing. And I think this is a kind of a problem with SC and the way they design the classes.
Which that same issue cascades into every role, which is sad, which is a little disappointing. At least when you're running an instance of any sort.
Right, because everybody wants to pass it as quickly as they can. So
And
they
do
want
everything.
right. And so they want to be able to take down stuff. Well, the only problem is if you're in strength, strength gear, and you're pulling 3 or 4 or 5 trash mobs, you're most likely going to die because that healer is not going to be able to keep up with 1, damaging mobs, and 2, healing. So then now
And,
they got to try.
and possibly on the tanks, and they're not going to be able to hold that huge ass mob on them. I've seen tanks pull huge mobs, and not many can keep the mob on them the entire time. Someone's going to pull the motherfuckers to them.
But going back to stances, the only difference between I can see between like healers and tanks when it comes to stances is that a healer they go through the switch from cleric stance from healing to attack almost instantaneously all the time.
I'm going to counter on this for a minute.
Go ahead.
Personally, I feel that having the ability to stay on stance is a good thing. There are times, like if you get really, really comfortable and you're running with a group, you as a healer should know how much your tank can handle because your tank is not going to be like some random idiot who's like, I'm going to pull everything. At this point, they know their limits, so they know how well you can heal and you know how well they can tank, so you're actually able to be more efficient and have the ability to be able to do that damage. Now, I'm not saying this is a situation that you should put everybody in, but you have to keep in mind too that having that ability is a tool in your pocket rather than a detriment.
Oh no, I'm not saying that it's a detriment, and I kind of agree with you. If you're running with people that you know, if you're running with like a raid group that you've been raiding forever with, and you understand the players that you're playing with and how much they can take, how much damage they can do, then yes, I do agree with you that stancing is really possible and you can do it. But I'm talking about like more specifically like Party
Roulette.
Finder, roulettes, stuff like that, where you don't know what the other tank's going to be able to hold. You don't know any of these people, so you don't know what they're capable of.
True, but in that mindset, you should go with being in healer mode first And after your first couple packs of mobs, you should be able to have a rough idea of how the tank is going to act. And then by that point, you should be able to figure out, okay, well, maybe I could throw out 1 or 2 damaging spells, or maybe I could throw out a bunch of damaging spells, or what have you. It is something you do have to play by ear, and it is something that it does add to the overall efficiency of the run. But at the same time, as a tank, I will never ever expect my healer to be required to throw out DPS, but I find it does help the run overall.
Which actually brings to a thought that I've been experiencing on and off. Tank doesn't always understand that aspect. They don't understand, need time for this, that, the other after they know how much damage you can handle, which can even complicate things like dodging.
All I can think of now is Piccolo going, "Why didn't you dodge?"
Yeah, or even if they're doing popping a region just as they're getting out of an AoE, just like half a second, you still get smacked in the face when you think you're out of it, type of thing. People have been assaulted, including myself, over that. It's not fun. It's not pleasant. Even if otherwise everything's fine, it's just that slight, maybe half a second issue.
Yeah, it's something that's a little bit dangerous. You have to play around with when doing party stuff, especially with Duty Finder. Is it does require a lot of play by ear, and it's usually better to play on the safe side. But at the end of the day, I would honestly say that I'm not trying to rhyme here. At the end of the day, I would basically put my 2 cents down that I believe Cleric Stance is a useful tool that you can use in the Duty Finder, but I would never say to any healer that in Duty Finder it is a requirement to do damage. In raid situations, yes, I would say it's definitely a requirement. You should be confident enough in this point, and you should definitely get to know your team so you know what your limits are. But in general, all-around use, I would say it's a good tool that you can use to experiment with, but I would never, ever say that you have to damage. It's great if you can. It helps the run go faster. But as long as my ass is alive and the DPS's ass is alive and your ass is alive by the end of the run, I don't care if it takes an extra 3 minutes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I do have to apologize to everybody out there. I'm very sorry. Like I said, we're still trying to get the kinks out, and I found out exactly what's going on. Hopefully, everybody can hear me on the stream now because I got both things on a keybind, and I forgot to change when I changed the keybind on one. I forgot to change the keybind on the other, so the stream for most of it was not hearing what I said.
So
And
in other
I do
words,
apologize.
you would talk on here and it would mute for the stream?
Yes.
Herp-a-derp.
Oh no.
Slow clap of justice.
Can everybody hear me now?
Slow clap of justice.
Oh,
wow. God.
We spent all day to avoid it ever happening again, and your hockey is
It's because of me. Because it was me. It was all me. I'm sorry.
Look at it this way. You tested out the audio. The audio testing was fine. You didn't test out your shortcut.
Or you forgot what hotkey you were using.
I know. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's all my fault. I'm sorry. Paul, I know you're recording this as well, but you're gonna have to send me the audio.
Oh, this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful.
God
Terrifying,
damn
but
it.
beautiful.
That is fucking hilarious.
It is.
Katsumi, may I do the usual intro stuff real quick, just for everyone who hasn't heard you?
Go ahead real quick.
Okay. This is the Whispering Dawn live on Twitch every Wednesday night at 7 Eastern Standard Time. You can, if you want to support the show, give us a shout out to everybody you know, however you know how to do it. If you want to catch us live, as you know, Twitch. If you want to catch us on a pre-recording, which will not have some of these audio issues, check out our podcast archives and YouTube and in iTunes.
Hey,
Uh,
hey.
yes,
You should listen to Whispering Dawn.
yes. If you want to contact us, we have an email, a Twitter account, and a couple others. The ones we seem to get more info from is our email at the whispering dom at gmail.com, and our Twitter account, which is at whispering_dawn. And as we have been saying for the past few weeks, here's your disclaimer. Viewer discretion is advised. We're trying to tone it down a little bit, but there will be times we're saying things that are outrageous, raunchy, and just otherwise class as dirty words that should not be on national television. So if you're at work, I suggest highly you listen to us after the podcast and bring it to work and put it on something your boss can't hear it on.
All I can picture now is
But if you get in trouble, don't say we told you to.
You know what? No. The viewer discretion is mine. Thank you very much.
there is something called Geeks versus Nerds, which is an interesting podcast, and all I can think of is the wonderful disclaimer that they have at the beginning. It's called the disclaimer song, and it basically sings the whole disclaimer, how there might be some cursing and swearing in the episode, and then spend 3 minutes singing a song just nonstop cursing.
Oh dear God.
Yes. Yes, Paul. The only problem I have with the thing that you gave us is it's not British enough.
More British.
We thought about
More
how to make it more
British.
British. We thought about it. I heard about how he's gonna do it.
What I was thinking. Okay, you ever heard Robin Hood Men in Tights? I want that kind of British.
Oh
we don't
my
want
God.
we don't want like what, Princess Bride British or
No. I want like British, done by a real British person, because in the Robin Hood they're like, I'm the only Robin Hood that speaks with an English accent or whatever. My British sucks. I
Kind
know
of
it.
like Monty Python type of lols.
Just British, like what everybody considers British.
look at that.
Well, hey guys, I'm fucking British. Guess what? Don't watch this because guess what? It's 18 plus. Go ask your mum and dad to see if you can watch it. Okay? This has got fucking strong language, you fucking cunts.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But now that we got that out of the way, tank issues. We have talked about the stances. We have talked about slightly about the gear issue and probably a couple of the big fixes SC could put into place.
Along with some of the smaller ones that would make actual sense.
Yes. And the one we didn't go into is the gear itself. That there's so many upgrades to the gear system in terms of the crafted items or whatever, or
Because
to the
only
regular buyable gear.
The only reason we didn't go into the gear is because the gear is a major problem throughout every single class and every single role, and is not just relegated to tanks. That's the only reason I want to mention anything with the gear, because the gear sucks for everything.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, they're doing a couple updates in 3.2 they had announced about the melding on gear. You do not have to craft for the higher level stuff. Anything past a certain point, you cannot meld at all. I'm happy they are adding that to the gear that we would not otherwise be able to meld at all. I think that's probably one of the major issues.
Is gonna fly.
Yeah, it makes a little bit of sense, but I expect the materia market will crash after that. So if you're holding on to your materia, sell it. Sell it now. Sell it while it's hot.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, 1010.
And depending on what you are usually hoarding, I'm pretty sure the crafter materials are always going to be in demand. Just hoard them. They're going to get expensive, probably even more so.
Oh, more than likely. Especially the tier 4s and 5s.
Yeah.
Okay, so the person who put this actually gave us a few solutions that he would like to see. So
Fire away.
no, okay, so I'm not gonna read like the whole thing, but he said, okay, first we come to the first of my real solutions. This is something that's been discussed a lot late already, and many players already think this is the answer. Adjusting tank damage calculation so that VIT plays a role. There we go. We already got now solution as the first as the first solution that it's nails.
The other one is the crap accessories and the
Okay,
stances issue, right?
but of course this only addresses one of the issues he's mentioned. Well, the other thing doesn't necessarily need to be addressed as it would disappear in its own next patch. If SE really wants to make sure both are fixed, the solution will allow him to do so. Factor VIT more heavily into damage calculation in tank stance, and strength more heavily while not in tank stance. So it would be like a cleric stance type of thing then.
C. Yep.
I'm on board with that.
C, tank, C, third stance.
Okay, so what about parry though? What kind of solutions can we do with parry? Because parry kind of sucks.
Parry needs to actually proc once in a while.
Like how much of
feel any sort of parry when I'm on my tank, so yeah. The mobs need to feel my pain.
well, the only thing that he can think of a solution is just increasing how effective it is, which means did what they did with crits. So not only stacks the stat increase, but also the damage, how much damage you can parry. And then alternatively, to prove its scaling to be not obsolete garbage, is to have more parry on your gear and noticeably increase your parry chance.
That would be nice because I would like to see myself parry once in a while.
Like what is it now? Like a 0.00000000009% chance?
No, it's actually probably quite high. It's just very, very not noticeable. Either that or I'm incredibly unlucky with my parries. I remember not getting any. I just very rarely see it on Dark Knight.
Ooh, I see a lot on Paladin and Warrior.
The Paladin, you're using your shield as well, so you have to make sure that you're seeing actual parry and not block.
No, I am seeing parry. Because they made a change to Paladin. When you block, you get, I think it's shield swipe, and now that increases in Mitty now. So I think that's really awesome. But I do see parry a lot. And on Warrior, you get an ability where I think it was parrying or something like that. I've been seeing parry too much today.
So pretty much there's just a general overlying issue. There needs to be balance within the jobs in the tank role.
Would you say then 10-10, we need to bring balance to the force?
We need to lay out all the issues that make the role as a whole unbalanced. Even if they doodle it on paper and then do it later elsewhere. But 9 times out of 10, most runs, whether it be regular or hardcore level, you need a warrior. If it's a 2-tank run, you can either swap out Pally or Dark Knight depending on what you're looking for. But warriors, the king of tanks, they're on top of the hill right now, and that's kind of like on a level that is almost unfair to everybody else who wants to play something different.
It's because it is.
I'm guessing my joke went over. I'm sorry.
It didn't go over the heads. Well, I found it funny, but what I didn't get about because Warriors they got a move that basically Just put like strength on that, it goes up to like 6k damage, and that's foul cleave. Like, come on. Fucking paladins get this shitty move that could barely reach 3k.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Dark Knights because I haven't got that to 60 yet. But come
Dark
on,
Knights can put
they've
up some
literally
crazy
just gave
damage.
everything to Warrior. Not like Warrior
Yeah.
was never OP because it was in Realm Reborn. It was. It is still now. Where's the love for Paladins? Paladins are just
Thank
getting
you.
fucking taken over by Dark Knights. And I fucking hate
You're
Dark
welcome.
Knights.
Okay,
They're
okay,
fucking
Paul,
unholy.
Paul, hold on one second, okay? Now, would you say that in Realm Reborn was Paladin's expansion for the most part? Can we not hear me again?
Not that. I think it's blowing over our heads. You mean they were more on par with each other?
So when
No.
a Realm Reborn first launched, Paladin was the de facto go-to tank. Warrior was an absolute piece of garbage, and it was a few patches in that they finally fixed Warrior, and then ever since Warrior has been top dog.
Okay.
Okay, that's
I
what I was
vaguely
trying to
remember that.
Okay, so ever since they fixed them in patches, Warrior's been a lot better than Paladin, then, right?
Yeah, Warrior's been top dog ever since they got the adjustments. I think in 1.2.
Oh, okay, then I retract my statement then. Never mind.
It was like 1.2 or 1.3 that Warrior got fundamentally overhauled.
Alrighty, let's talk about let's get away from tanks and everything. Unless we have anything else we would like to say about it before we move on.
Give Paladin some love so I can level the son of a, to 60. I have not touched it because you made it so weak sauce. See.
You can't forget about the boring as fuck part.
I have nothing to add.
Okay. Since this next thing was actually Paul's idea, I'm gonna let him introduce the segment because this is his baby. So go ahead, Paul. Introduce this next segment.
Best in slot items for raiding needs. Yeah,
That's
now
that's your rating needs.
that's
All your
yeah.
rating needs.
Which includes the real endgame glamour.
Okay, so what did you want to do with this?
This is where we just basically talk about this. Talk about a class. Basically, it's best in slots. It basically gives some information out there about the class itself. If you get my meanings, and what you can furthermore get to increase damage. I'd say increase like end game damage, in other words.
I'm going to
This is
tell you
very
right
endgame.
now, I know point blank nothing about playing Bard. I haven't touched it since 1.0. So I'm going to use this opportunity to run to the bathroom because I have nothing to contribute in this conversation.
I'm just gonna let them talk because I don't know nothing about Bard either. But I'm actually gonna listen because you never know what you can learn about other classes too, and how you can make other classes better as well. So go ahead, take it away.
Woohoo!
Time for the bards to get love.
Bard love. Right,
Bard life. 4 bards at a party, 8-man. Sorry.
so what we're first going to talk about is the weapon. What is the best weapon of choice for the Bard? And you may be thinking, oh yeah, it's got to be the relic weapon. Well, it's not. It's actually the Gordian's longbow, where it's the 210 weapon from Alexandra. Pretty decent stats. Amazing. I love it. Dexterity 109. Fucking lush. Vitality 115. And crit and skill speed. The crit is 71 plus. And skill speed. You gotta love skill speed. Every bard needs skill speed. I think, yeah. Skill speed and spell speed, they're different things. I got confused there. It's really nice, but it is hard to get hold of sometimes because you have to beat A1S4. That can be tricky. But you can have basically the relic weapon, because I know they're going to upgrade the relic weapon in the next couple of patches. Yes, but right now, if you want the optimal damage point, the Gordon's longbow is for you, literally.
Oh, this just is orgasmic stats. I'm sorry. They'll be stats in Bard as anyone who has messed around with anything like a ninja, pugilist, etc., etc. Dexterity is your main damage stat. Skill speed, without it, you are slow as hell. Criticals, best friend of a damage class. And the vitality is a nice thing, you know, extra anti-squishy for your health points.
Yes, you don't die to like one AoE. It's a nightmare.
Pretty much. So here's the thing I've been noticing is that, yes, relic weapon is probably going to be better stats, but only after an upgrade due to time. But there has been, at least in some classes, I'm not sure as much with Bard, that certain stats have become less favorable than others. What do you see from this point and probably another point with the Bard?
What's going on?
I don't know. That scared the crap out of me, and then it had a heart attack.
Is everybody okay?
So far from my heart, then yeah, it's okay. Oh Jesus!
What happened there? Anybody know?
I don't
I'm
know.
not sure where that sound came from.
Came
Me
from
neither.
Keiju. So like he unplugged something from his like whatever he's using, and it just like died.
Kazun, you okay over there, bud?
And he was never heard of again, I guess.
No, I'm cool. That was just my phone. Sorry about that.
Whoopsie.
No, that's okay. Just
Just
kind
like
of
mentioned, where nothing but guitars were around.
Okay. Go ahead and finish there. 10-10.
But yeah, Paul, what do you think has changed anything on terms of Bard and what stats you need to clear certain content?
I'm mainly going for crit because crit is awesome. Determination. I think it was on the was it the Esso weapon had determination, I think? If I can remember rightly.
Which to an extent kind of confuses me.
I don't know why we needed determination for a bard, but whatever. SE, you know, they know more than me.
Or they're
But
smoking some good stuff.
probably. I really think the crit chance, well, the crit is more of our main damage source right now with the crit. Because if you don't have that much crit, you're not going to get the main damage output that you need. And I know you can increase it, so using this to increase it. And I actually like the Gordian's longbow. Actually, it's got better stats than the weapon I had. So I would like to hopefully get this for my bard. He says in a hopeful matter. I'm getting messages. Sorry about that.
Groups pending, pretty much on for raids.
Okay, so since we already got the weapon, how about going to some of the armor best in slots here?
Okay, the best in slot for the head is the Gordian Hood of Aiming, because that gives really good well, it gives you 62 dexterity, 66 wit, and 41 accuracy, and more crit chance, 58. So that's really good because it gives you accuracy. Like, you need accuracy. I think what I've seen from bards and from other classes is that bards get the most accuracy. What I find is amazing because like my bard right now is coming up for like 700 accuracy. I think most of the accessories have accuracy. Most of your gear has accuracy. So it's really good because then you won't miss, so you get more damage. But for other classes, there's been a lack of accuracy in some classes. What's getting them harder to actually hit people. So The next one is the, I'm sorry if I'm going to pronounce this terribly, the Otis Cloak, or the Otis Cloak. Basically the SO chest piece. Really good. It's dexterity is 101, vitality is 107, accuracy 94, love it, and crit rate, crit is 666. What I like this because accuracy again and crit, love it. Dexterity and vitality, love it, and the look, oh my god, the look is amazing.
This is the first chance I've had a moment to actually look at the stats of this, because I've pretty much been gearing my healer to be my main raid class. Bard is pretty much going to be my secondary. But now that I'm able to look... initially, my thought was when they dropped the preview of the 210 gear, that I had to have this based on looks. Now I want it even more because I can see the sexy stats.
It is sexy. I have it. I upgraded to 210. Remember, this is the 210 version of when you get it, because when you do get it, again, it's only I200, so you have to upgrade it. And how do you do that? You go do Void Arc or Alex Savage. Mainly, I would tell you to go do Void Arc because it's easier. Your frames may drop though.
You're more likely to go through Void Arc than find a group that will work with you for a raid, unless you got a static already.
Yeah, unless you have a static. The next part is the hands, or the arm piece, or whatever you want to call it. I just call it the hands. It's a Gordian hands. This is pretty interesting because it was its dex is 62, vitality 66. A lot of 66 in the vitalities. Love it. Crit rate again 58. And then we have skill speed again was 41. I like it. I can't remember what Alex it drops, but it is annoying because you have to run Savage as well. So remember, this is the best in the slots. Next is the Fable Belt. What is the SOs? You have to upgrade it to 210. Gives you dexterity 47, Vit 49. I really hate this stat in it. It's determination. Gives you 42 determination and skill speed 30.
All I can think of is looking at stats fills you with determination.
Ha!
Yes.
Wow. You had to go.
Yeah. I could have made it worse.
You knew it was coming.
To be fair, I did.
There he goes.
Here we go. Right, then we got the... This is an iffy one because the Akhil's tights. This is what they thought. You can really use any, but this is my preferred choice because it gives me 94 accuracy because I like it. This is my preferred choice. I don't know why, but I'd usually go for the Gordians. Usually because they give you skill speed. But this one gives you determination. But I like them because they look sexy. Shouldn't really be on looks, it should be more on the stats. But I only have this because I haven't actually done... well, I have done it, but I didn't get the drop for it. For the Alex one, so... I went with the Anion's tights that give you dexterity 101, vitality 107, accuracy 94, and determination 63. If I could get the Gordian legs, I would probably go for them because they give me skill speed instead of determination. I would rather have the skill speed than the determination.
Yeah, bards don't get any determination love. They hate it.
Yeah, they really do. So really, it's really a preference of what, like, you can have any legs that are like 210, or you can even go for the 200 ones. I think they give decent stats. I haven't actually looked into them because I haven't got them yet.
You could possibly get away with it.
Yeah, you could possibly get away with it. But if you want full 210, I'd reckon you go for this. The Agon tights, you go into that and you're good. You're going to love them. Or you can go for the skill speed, what gives you more skill speed, in other words. The last but not least, the boots. It's the Anatos boots, where it's also the ESO ones again. Give you 62 dexterity, vitality 66, and crit rate 58, and skill speed 41. And that's the main off bit, so it's really nice. I like them. For basically the off bits, aka the lovely. The lovely accessories. Basically, the necklace is Gordian neckband of aiming, what I think is dexterity, accuracy, and I think I have a skill speed or crit rate. It's one of those two. I haven't gone into the earrings and all that stuff. The earrings are basically fabled earrings of aiming, fabled bracelet of aiming, fabled ring, and then the Gordian ring, because you can't have two of the same bloody ring. Well, I think it's kind of stupid.
I find that, yeah, it's bullshit.
So that's another thing we'll get on topic. The food, say if your DPS is low or anything, your food could be the baked papaya pike. What I cook on a regular and catch on a regular basis, because why not? Sell them for quite a lot. That's pretty much it for the best in slot bard. I think all this is really good, and I think it all goes up to 210. But if you like it, then contact me on Twitter and I'll just give it to you there. But you can make your own. You can go with all the ESO gear, but
You can mix and match in some spots. In some spots, you have to go through Savage. If you can get a Savage group, go for it. Get the spots you want.
It's like if you don't want to do Savage, I would literally just go for the ESO gear. Literally, but you're not going to get full 210, I don't think, because your ring.
It's always the damn one.
It'll be that one ring that you can't have because you threw it in a pit of lava. But no,
would that be the one ring to ring them? Is that the one ring to rule them all?
Yes, it is, because it's bard. It's the one ring to sing them all. It's in the D&D handbook where you can sing all the songs. It's quite good. So I'm coughing here. Okay. So yeah, it's going to be pretty weird for that.
So I got a question. As an astrologian here, what cards would you love to see an astrologian give you?
Mana. So I can play my songs more.
Depending on the group, either the damage.
It really depends. It's say you got like dragoons.
Depends on what you need at that moment, but those three are good bets.
You can either give us the damage one, or you can give us the mana, so we can sing our songs. That can give you mana.
Here's the one that would be kind of funny just to think about for a slight second. The lowered damage from mobs one. If shit gets out of hand and you become the overpowered bard that pulls every fucking thing. Bard tank!
I've done that before. It was not nice. I had to repair my gear straight after that dungeon. I think like half it was broken. It cost me so much.
That's the one thing I gotta keep remembering to like do before I go into dungeons or anything, is to fix my gear, because it's sad. I go in there and it's under 10%, and I'm like, oh, forgot to fix my gear.
God damn, I forgot to do it again. It's like if I could like whip out my weaver or whip out my blacksmith and just repair it on the spot, then I would love it. But you can't do that in dungeons.
Actually, you can. You just have to have the material and then have the repair skill on hotkey, or pull up your character menu and hit repair by right-clicking your gear. You can actually repair in a dungeon. You just have to have fucking catalyst on you.
Yeah, you just must have a shit ton of catalysts. Or like grade matter, and then it's like, oh shit.
Yep, save a slot for your junk in your trunk.
We've also got some sexy glamours as well.
The real end game.
You know,
I'm gonna post these in the feedback into the not the feedback thread. I'm thinking about a different podcast, but in the patch notes, because
I got
Show
it
notes.
in.
I'm sorry.
I got the glamour links for you.
Okay.
Already.
That way, people can see some awesome bard glamour here. These are hard to describe through um, a audio based podcast. So
We are going to send you things to look at and see what you like.
yes. Deleted link. What is the link? The link deleted.
Auto moderate's going off on me. I need to be set as a trusted chat person.
And here we
to
have the
send
Red
links.
Huntress.
So
What is
post them real
quite
quick
nice.
on your end so it goes
Very
through.
red. So you got all the lists here. Got all the lists here. It's quite nice. You know.
Fuck nuggets.
Oh no, you see it? You see in the documents. And here we have quite a nice one. It's quite nice.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to learn this.
Looks really nice.
Speak, everybody. Speak.
Hello.
I just gave the link
But
so that
it's
you don't
really
have
nice.
to rummage
I
through
reckon
the
people would love doing that.
notes
It's like
to
it's
get
all
it.
here. There's always been a link
Look
in the
at
description
the
of the video as
audio
well.
clip real
So
quick.
if you want to see them, now I'm just showing them previously because they're here. We got, I think it's 2 more. Yeah, it is. This one's quite nice. It's quite weird. It's the
There we go.
pink
There's one right
coat
there.
satchel.
There you go.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that one. So he's got the. It's all
I do
here,
like that.
but
Was that?
that's really nice.
Let me look at the list. I think
You're
that
like
was-
a hunter, like a pure like hunter, like tribesman. Really nice.
Oh, that was my second favorite. The last
then
link was the one I enjoyed
Last
the
but not
most.
least, it's this one.
But yeah, seeing we got a
What
link
I
up,
liked actually
let's
because it made you look
talk
like
about this
a
one real
you're
quick.
in the army and you're really like pimped out, had a beret on and everything. It makes you feel like more of an
It
army.
looks good.
But now we're gonna get back to the podcast.
The
so
Breezy Bard.
we'll see you there.
The Breezy Ballad by Kiku Tatsuya of Malboro. Pretty much, it's what they describe as a warm and toasty summer look. They took the chest piece, dyed it, and then glamored it over to their bard, which I have to see at the High House Bustier, which is kind of wedding dressing like by default, was dyed over to be dark. And then they're using the Ironworks bow for the main hand. Regular cotton dress gloves. The headpiece is the orthodox tricorn aiming, bridesmaid tights, and boots. So, it does look like a long trench coat type deal that you would wear in the winter. So, overall, what they describe it to be fits.
It does look very nice.
That's what I said.
I didn't say you were wrong.
Everybody looked at me like I was like some kind of stupid thing when I said that.
Hey, we didn't look because I can't see you.
I'm kind of with Paul on this one.
It's a lie. I can't see shit.
And if you pull up the link, you're gonna see a backdrop of Ishgard. Or wait, is this Ishgard or the Sea of Clouds?
No, that's neither of them. Dang it. That's like the churning mist.
Okay,
it's
thank
Moko.
you. It's hey, my brain's a little shot, and I don't travel in that area much. But yeah, you got one of the towers overlooking in the background in the Sea of Clouds, and then you got a platform, which it all overall fits with the expansion theme better than what they thought up for the default gear set looks.
Do we need more music?
Music would be awesome.
Maestro,
Can you
take
play
it
another
away.
tune?
I can do that. Just one moment.
No, that's okay. Anybody got a request?
Hmm.
Uh,
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. I don't know Doctor
Nobody knows who the doctor is.
Who.
Yeah, it's me, of course.
Anything will do right now. But
And Paul, you should know, and you should know right now that it's just the doctor. Okay.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
the second glamour that we got on the chat is Meow Scenary by I hate pronouncing these names when they're written like that. Morgan Prio of Cactar. This is technically the favorite out of the selection we got to talk about. It's red, it's black, it's a little regal. I love it. They didn't describe too much about what they thought. They just gave us a smiley face on the webpage. But the headpiece is the Sky Pirate's Beret of Aiming. The body, if you're Maelstrom, it should be easily attainable. It's the Storm Elite Scale Coat. The Serpent Skin half gloves of crafting, of all things, for the hands. And the Boogadar's Tights of Ranging. The bracelets actually have the Adrian bracelet of aiming. If I do not mention a earpiece, by the way, it is because they did not glamour it. They left it whatever they're using. So technically anything will fit. I like I said, it's kind of regal, but it also shows like a regal military boss, like a princess general type deal. So I love it. I have to look into if I can actually dye some of these pieces because I would like to be able to do the same look in another color. I know the Maelstrom coat's probably the only thing I can't dye. Anybody got thoughts?
That's actually pretty pretty and everything, but I really do think that some of these would be really nice to do on like my own.
I kind of like that. The hair in the picture really suits the outfit overall, but I don't think I could pull off something like that.
Unless with your own style. Paul, what do you think of the glamour? You gave us this sexy selection. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are one of many.
What are your thoughts that don't involve trying to get into their pants?
They're 3D cat women. Of course we want to get in their pants.
One of my favourite is actually the Pelt Salcher by Chino Charizard of Hyperion, who I know actually. That's quite cool. I like this one because it looks like you're a part of a tribe and you're a hunter. You're like a hunter. You're like, it looks so cool. It's like, oh, I love like the hunter theme, mainly because it's I just like tribal kind of stuff. It's really nice.
The next glamour, they just wanted to figure out the red dye, the metallic red dye use, which is called the Red Huntress by Crystalla Sylphorn of Thornberry. Chocobo Tail Soft for the main hand. Or this is incorrect. I think this is incorrectly coded, but it's the they're using the relic bow in the screenshot, so I'm going with the hell. The Armented Corral Chapeau for the headpiece, Sky Pirates Vesta aiming for body, Coronal wristband for hands, Serpent Skin Braless of aiming for legs, the Sky Pirates boots aiming for feet, and the Emperor's new bracelet for the bracelets because it seems like they didn't want to show any fear at all otherwise. So this one's kind of okay. It looks nice, but they clearly stated that they did this trying to figure out how to use a red dye and make it look good, which kind of makes me a little sad. You could add like so much more into the reason and make it more interesting.
Yeah, I do like that one because it kind of looks like my bard, like right now. Same hat, but just different colours. um,
What song is this?
Yuffie's theme.
And then the last glamour is the one that Paul likes, which is tribal. Pelt snatcher by Jin Chars on a Hyperion. No frills, deep woods look. The simple shirt brings out the headgear without adding any flamboyance. This can be modified in so many ways with the boots, pants, gloves to create a very unique bandit or hunter outfit. Mole down matches the shirt. Mole brown matches the shirt exactly. Earth tones and leather work great to accent it. And the list for that is the Vladimir Bowl, this Ward Sky Hunter's Pelt, Valerian Lucier's Gamblisin for body, Vermilion cuffs are aiming for hands, Rammy trousers are aiming for legs, Valerian Fullister's boots for feet, and no jewelry glamours. I didn't pay much. I find that this fits overall really well, color tone and pattern and all. But it also sounds perfect for the person who created it just on their last name. Charizard. It looks like a fucking dragon. You nailed a character look based on name. You got it.
yeah, but isn't he or she a dragon lady? Or is that a cat? I think it's a cat. It's a cat woman.
Wow.
Okay. Before we leave here today, do we have anything else to say about these awesome glimmers?
No, I just have a question for you guys and for the viewers or whatever. Mainly for you guys. What class next?
I would humbly request that we hold off on Dark Knight until I can start playing again regularly, and then I can show you my glamour.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's pull something out of the hat here. And we are going to do White Mage.
White Mage.
Yay!
I can agree with that. I was waiting for somebody else to say it though.
I just did a random number generator on all the classes, so.
I love
Nice.
White Mage.
RNG Jesus loves me.
Alrighty, let's cut the music here. I'm sorry. I've always wanted to say cut the music too, so this is awesome.
Does this mean we're
Okay.
gonna hire him full time?
We're gonna be having him make our little intro music, so our theme. So we're kind of hiring him on.
Yay!
By using getting paid.
I'm sorry, Kajin. You are actually doing a really good job with what you're playing. I do love everything you've been playing today. So.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
And I'm pretty sure
Sir.
you are playing 14 while listening to us. Plus, you don't play either Bard or a tank, right? Rue?
I'm a healer.
So you really didn't have much
That's
to
right.
say on today's show.
Oh, not at all. I have no idea what you guys were talking about.
Pretty much the issues with tanks being not where we want them to be. And Bard yummies. And then Bard yummy looks.
Bad yummy.
I'm looking forward
Okay.
to the White Mage yummy looks.
We might have to invite you on so you can talk some White Mage with us.
Oh, I love to talk some White Mage. That's my jam.
Talk White Mage to me.
Okay, so before we leave here, we do have a live letter coming out on Saturday. I think it's Saturday. It's the 30th, whatever the 30th is.
It's a Saturday.
Saturday. You're good.
So, what do we expect? What do we hope is addressed?
Probably some of the balance issues and just in my personal opinion, I want more info on the mentor program. I want to see if they're going to do any sort of moderating before you're able to become a mentor, because I think the system's going to fail if they don't do it.
I'm hoping for new content, so I don't get bored. And more
No,
story.
I know you can't play at the moment, but what would you hope
Me
out of the live letter?
too.
I'd like to see more information about where they're planning to take things in the future. My only concern is with stuff like Blade and Soul came out and other games on the near horizon. We got to keep the subscribers somehow, so we need to at least be able to see where the future is going to go in this game, because we have to keep subscribers and keep people interested if we want the game to have longevity.
We need to keep their imaginations going with teasers.
Especially
Something
with
that is not just rehashed content.
well, the thing I will say about this is, especially since the number of people that's playing Blade and Soul, the you can hardly get on a server without having a long wait time. So for Final Fantasy 14 to keep the subscribers they have, they're going to have to give us some long-term planning here and give us something.
Maybe a new expansion.
That'll probably be announced at FanFest. That would be my guess.
That would be
believe-
my best too.
Yeah, FanFest, if they announce it any sooner, they're going to shoot themselves in the ass. Not even in the foot, in the ass. It's going to hurt.
Oh my
But
god, my ass!
But the question that becomes it is, and I hate to actually be like something to say about this, is with the way that SE is currently going, how many people are going to go to FanFest then?
I would imagine there's still quite a lot of people.
Well, considering that's the tickets sold out last time, yeah, they'll probably still go very quick.
Yeah.
Still a pretty big fan base for 14. I'm sure a lot of people are going to show up.
Whether or not I can afford to go.
The part, like 2/3 of my issues of being able to attend are taken care of. Last one is the travel to the area. I took a look ahead and into the month of FanFest for those dates. It's not like at the moment. It's a lot more expensive than in February. Fucking
Welcome
nuts.
to my world.
You got it worse than I do.
Yes, I do.
You could probably get away with like a $600 trip in February, but if you try going in October straight to Vegas, you're gonna get raped.
I don't mind getting raped. Quite nice, you know. It's not rape if you don't
Your
enjoy it.
wallet.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Rape is not. Rape is not rape is not rape if you're willing.
And I'm willing to go, so it's fine.
Oh my god, I can't believe this. So we just want more content then to be dropped at the live letter.
Pretty
More
much.
content and more info on what they've already been talking about. Keep us happy, and we will not drop our money elsewhere.
So what happens if this content is more Lord of the Minion stuff?
I will kill myself, delete the game, uninstall, and move to Blade and Soul for good. And then I'll probably leave the podcast because I'll have nothing to do with Final Fantasy.
Well, like I said, if the majority of us would quit Final Fantasy 14, we can just convert this over to a regular general broadcast. So no, you're not leaving the show.
I probably wouldn't quit. I would probably reduce my playtime to like 2 nights a week or something like that, and focus on other games.
Oh, come on, you got a sweet game in PSO2 you're playing right now.
Shh.
They're not allowed to know. Shh.
Yeah.
Oh no,
I
they
can't
can
tell
totally
them.
know. I've been doing PSO2 versus Cancer lately, so. And for the month of February, I will be streaming favorite RPG of mine every night, with all the donations going to the Canadian Cancer Society.
That's good.
Man.
And let me guess, that RPG that you'll be playing, would that be a Persona game by chance?
Yes.
Score.
Would it be the third one in the series?
Yes.
Okay, everybody, you just heard her. In the month of February, go to her channel, watch her play Persona 3, and donate for cancer.
Now the question is, which version?
And spam her with Kappa.
Well, I'm pretty much guessing that's going to be the FES version.
If I can get it up and running, I'm probably going to do portable.
Oh, okay.
I have to do portable. Female main character in Shinjiro.
If you ever do Blaze Blue, the PS3 ones with the bonus cutscenes you can unlock with Ranga and Jin, I would love you. I haven't been able to remember the name of that cutscene section, and I want to watch
I
them.
think I already have them unlocked.
What are they technically called to be able to do a search?
No idea off the top of my head. I would have to fire up the PlayStation 3.
Okay, thank you very much.
Blaze
Not
Blue.
a problem.
Do you mind if I plug something real quick?
No,
Yeah,
you're not
go
allowed.
for it.
Never.
Go for it.
Sorry,
I'm
I'm sorry. Nell has spoken, so I'm
No,
sorry.
no, I'm being sarcastic. You can totally go ahead.
I know I was
With
too.
the old joke with the moderator power.
It's okay. It's okay. Go ahead and follow me on Twitch. My username is KaijinRu, Kaijin_Ru, and I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy VI in the upcoming week. Gonna go do a full playthrough of it.
Oh, can I make us a really fun suggestion for that? It's based off of my last playthrough of Final Fantasy VI.
Sure, go ahead.
I did a Final Fantasy VI run with Chat Party, is what I called it. Every time I got a new character, somebody in the chat had to speak up, and then they got to be named that character, and were therefore responsible for anything that happened in that game involving that character.
Why do I think messed up
that
jokes
sounds
are
pretty
going to become into play?
Well, that
Let's put
sounds
it this-
cool.
Let's put
You
it
know
this
what?
way. One of my friends, Bodhi, who is a game developer, spoke up and wanted to have Shadow. And then Shadow left my party in the middle of a run with my Genji glove, so I constantly pestered him, asking him for my Genji glove back.
I kind
Damn,
of like
you
that
got
idea.
chucked.
That's kinda neat. I kind of like that idea, and I think it would be cool if they would actually show up for every cast and everything, have them do the voices, read everything that character does,
Hey, why not?
I think that'd be kind of cool, have a different person in the cast, or whatever, just read off their voices,
Sounds like a fun adventure.
It's a good idea. Thanks for the suggestion. I think I'm going to try to put something together like that.
Great. If you ever need someone to do the voice for Terra, let me know.
Oh, yeah? Well, you're first in line then.
Huzzah! Because Terra is best character.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm a Celeste person.
Okay, it's time for us to say goodbye. I know, so sad and everything.
Much tears, very sad, so
Fucking
cry.
hitting on an hour and 40
Um,
minutes. Holy shit.
I know. So we are just to go through everything once more like we normally do. You can follow us on twitch.tv Whispering Dawn to see when we are going to be streaming. We pretty much are live every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Follow us on Twitter at whispering_dawn. Email us at thewhisperingdawn@gmail.com. Just so you can get whatever you want to say about anything on the show. We're pretty much open to anything you want to write to us. If you have any opinions about what we talked about in Blessing Slots or tanks, please email us. If you have anything about weight mages for next week, email us. Go to youtube.com, Whispering Dawn. Paul should have the podcast uploaded onto there within the day, hopefully, maybe 2 days, maybe 3.
I'd say 2 days because I'll go be asleep for most of it.
Technically, yeah, technically like 2 days for the time zone difference.
Okay. So within 2 days, this podcast should be up on YouTube. Follow us on, subscribe to us on iTunes. Rate stuff that's rate us. Tell us how good we're doing, how bad we're doing. Tell other people how we're doing, and buy a shirt. Whispering.redbubble.com. And if you want to support the individual members of the show, you can go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com, Learning Sephora. I'll be changing that shortly. My Twitter handle is @Learning Sephora. And as usual, I do not get the last words on the show. My lovely co-hosts and guests get the last words on this podcast. So for now, I will just say goodbye and goodbye.
I'm Nell Celestine. You can usually check me out on Twitter @Nell Celestine. Same with Twitch, twitch.tv/Nell Celestine. You can search me up on YouTube with looking for Nell Celestine over there. I am currently in the middle of doing a bunch of streaming for different groups of charity, mostly towards cancer right now. So if you're interested, come hang out, throw a few donations around if you want. If you want, just hang out and chat. That's awesome. Take care.
This is Tenchi Hyuga on the Whispering Dawn. I will see you next week. Hopefully, after Live Letter, we got buttloads to talk about. I hope.
And I am the Paul of the metal and the metal of the Paul. Hello, and I'm Paul. You can find me on Twitter at PaulMetal1. You can find me on YouTube at Paul Metal. You also know me as the only British guy that Whispering Dawn. But also, may the Brit be with you.
And time for a little bit of music as we go out.
Did we lose Kaijiro again?
Oh no, I'm here. You guys want me to play some music and go out?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
By the way, FC shows me you're in an instance.
It's okay. I can fail the duty. I'll play one of my own tunes for you guys on the way out. Not Final Fantasy. Well, thank you, sir.
Ah,
Are we done? Yes, no?
that was awesome.
Right, guys, and remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, I bet you are, leave us a like, a comment, and even subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you in the next podcast. Have a good day.